Yes, welcome back to Babyface and the Heel with me, the 34-year-old bloke who likes fake fighting, Will, and I'm joined by 10-year-old
Jake.
So, as per before with the previous podcast that we did, this is the view of a 10-year-old wrestling fan and also a 34-year-old wrestling fan. And we'd like to start off by thanking those who listened to our last podcast, to those who have liked, those who have subscribed to the channel, and also those who are following us, retweeting us, liking our tweets, at Heel and Babyface, all one word, at Heel and Babyface on Twitter. You know, it's very much appreciated, isn't it, Jake?
Yeah. Very much appreciated. Thank you very much.
So after we last spoke, we had Raw, hadn't we? Now, we saw NXT. There was no Cross versus Escobar. That happens this week.
Yep.
No disqualification match. And if Escobar doesn't fight, then he gets stripped of the championship and suspended. What do you think happens?
I think Escobar will fight, but Cross will just batter him.
Do you think they're doing the no disqualification so that one of them can lose? Because neither of them have lost yet.
Yeah, I feel like Santos might use someone to come and beat Cross.
Well, he has got a group, hasn't he? He's got two people within his group. I think Cross will win, to be honest with you.
I think Cross will win, but if Santos Escobar does win, it'll be because someone comes down and help him, and they'll beat up Cross, and then he'll pin him.
Yeah. I agree. That's the only way that he would win, because they're sort of portraying Cross as a face. Happy with that?
No, I think Cross as a character is like the way they've made his character. He's a heel.
I think he needs to be a monster heel, doesn't he?
Yeah, like a Randy Orton.
I'd have said more like a psychopathic Braun Strowman. Like, really just will lock on his finisher, you know, the cross jacket, lock it on and won't let go. And he'll do it to the best faces.
Yeah. So,
looking at that as well, we had the big tag match at the end of the night. We had Balor, Strong, O'Reilly versus Birch, Lorcan and Dunn. And there was a bit of confusion at the end. Adam Cole hit the brain buster, which looked a lot like a superplex, onto the metal steps, which took O'Reilly out. He ran off. There was Strong came in to try and help Balor. Balor overhead kicked Strong and then got hit with a bitter end, even though he just stood there and took it.
Yeah.
And those guys won, but then Cole came back, super kick to Balor, picked up the title, and he said he will explain why this coming Wednesday. Why has he done it all, Jake?
To intimidate Balor, to be like, I am going to win this title. No matter what, I am going to beat you and I will win this off you. Like, he's going to make it come across like, because he's kind of like a heel, he's going to make it come across like he'd be a better champion and like he deserves it more than Balor, even though I think Balor should have it more than Cole, because Balor, he's like worked hard for it.
You know, this probably won't be a favoured opinion, but I don't really like this FinnBalor at the moment. I liked him when he came back and he was a baddie / goodie, a tweener, you know, when he overhead kicked Gargano and that, and then he was also going for the Undisputed Era and you didn't really know what he was doing. But now he's just gone back to being face Balor again. It doesn't appeal so much. I like what you're saying with Cole, and I think there is a part of that, but what's O'Reilly's involvement in all of it?
I feel like Adam Cole super kicked O'Reilly, but O'Reilly hasn't really, from what I've seen, 'cause I didn't watch the most recent NXT, he hasn't really been getting involved with them.
He called out Cole at the start of it.
He
and
called
wanted
him
answers.
out, but he's not like coming after Cole, like trying to beat him up. He's just talking rude to him. Like, if he was a proper heel or face, he'd go after Cole. And because of what he did and betrayed him, he'd go after Cole and just try to beat him up.
I think he just wants answers. But for me, it sort of makes me think, and I don't think this will happen at all, but there's that bit in the back of my mind of Cole versus Balor. O'Reilly gets into the ring, takes out Balor, and it was a plan all along. And the Undisputed Era are stronger than ever.
That honestly, that could happen.
You can make it interesting.
Yeah, it would.
You know, and you've then got your Balor rivalry with O'Reilly carrying on a bit longer.
Yeah.
But I also think they're trying to push O'Reilly. So next week, what happens then with Cole coming out and saying why he did what he did? He goes after Balor?
Yeah.
Okay. And not only that, we had SmackDown this week, and there weren't too many memorable things really that happened on SmackDown. Edge appeared at the start, Roman Reigns came out, whispered something to him which annoyed Edge, and we still don't know what that was. I think he said, by the way, Edge, your pink jacket last week looked silly, and Edge wasn't very happy with it, for all I know. We had the main event, which was the 6-man tag, which ended with everybody hitting their finishers before Edge came in, hit a spear, and then Reigns hit Edge with a spear, which makes you think Reigns Edge at Mania.
Yeah.
And the only other noticeable thing really were that there were 2 heel turns. Apollo Crews turning heel on Shinsuke and Big E when he hit them both with the steps, and Otis turning heel.
Why? Just why did they turn Otis heel? He's not a heel.
I don't understand it either. I thought it was all... It just seemed like it was something to do.
Yeah, just spice it up, which it hasn't.
No.
In my eyes, it's made it worse. Why is Otis a heel?
And we had Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode on commentary who were being really respectful to the teams that were fighting. And it just seemed like, well, heels wouldn't do that. Crews turning heel. He needs something. He needed something. He's a bit bland. I don't think he's made the most of any opportunities he's been given. And then you've got Edge Reigns. Do you think that's solidified that that's going to be the match at Mania now?
Yeah.
Okay. So tonight we've got the Elimination Chamber. And we've got a number of matches. One thing I've just missed off from SmackDown is that we know that Jax and Baszler are going to take on Banks and Belair for the tag titles. Who wins?
Baszler and Jax, because Belair and Banks will turn on each other. Because Belair won the Rumble and Belair want to fight Banks for her championship.
I think that's very smart, but which one of them turns?
Belair.
Do you think? I think it'll be the other way, but I suppose we'll see.
But why would Sasha Banks do it? Because that just sets her up in a position that she's going to fight Belair. Because honestly, she wouldn't want to turn because she thinks Belair's good and Belair's better. She is.
I don't think she thinks that because she's the champion.
Yeah, but if I was her, I'd think Belair was better.
Okay, well, we'll see, won't we, with that one. Then we've got the match, which is Bobby Lashley, United States champion, been on an absolute wrecking mission recently, taking on Matt Riddle, who's been on the receiving end of a lot of hurt locks. And the way he sells it is like a child on a roller coaster. When he's locked in.
Is that good?
Yeah, I like it. And also Keith Lee, who we've not seen for quite a while. Who wins that match, do you think? Who walks out as United States champion?
Who of them?
Lashley, Lee, Riddle.
Lashley.
Do you think? I can see, they might hold off until Mania for Riddle or Lee to win the title, but I can also see Lashley going for McIntyre at Mania. They're building him up.
Yeah.
Or do they somehow manage to get Brock Lesnar back and have Lashley versus Lesnar?
Yeah. Maybe not.
Anything more to add, or just, what's up, Dak?
Just that.
Just that, okay. So you're saying Lashley. I actually think Riddle might win it tonight. I think Riddle might, and we might have Riddle Lee going into Mania if Keith Lee ever appears again. Okay, so we move on to the Elimination Chamber. First of all, which one's going to main event?
Raw.
Okay, so we'll talk about SmackDown then. We've got Cesaro, Bryan, Owens, Zayn, Uso, Corbin.
Yeah.
Who wins?
We could probably put across Uso is not going to win.
You don't think Uso will win?
No, because he's not going to fight Reigns.
Okay.
Owens...
Do you think if he did win, do you think he'd just lie down for Reigns and let Reigns pin him? Or do you think he'd actually fight him?
I think he just lie down for Reigns.
Okay. Sorry, I interrupted you then. Owens?
He has a chance of winning, but is it boring?
Is it?
In my eyes, no, but is it boring to other people? Because I like the extreme matches and think every one of their matches now has got extreme in a way.
Yeah.
So then you've got Corbin, don't know why he'd win.
Okay.
Zayn, don't know why he'd win. Which means it's... What was the other one?
Cesaro and Bryan?
Cesaro or Bryan or Owens are my biggest. And the three that I think if anyone would win is them, or out with them three.
So which one?
Not Bryan.
Okay.
And not Cesaro. I think Kevin Owens will win.
Do you know what? I'm going to agree with you. And I'm going to agree with you because I think Zayn, they might tease it for him. They might tease it, but he won't win. Corbin will probably be the first one eliminated.
Yeah,
Or Jey Uso will.
He'll get all fuming and be like, what? How did he beat me? How did he beat me?
Yeah, that's exactly how he talks.
Sorry.
Jey Uso might be one of the first ones out. Bryan's losing too much for them to really get him enough momentum for Mania. So I don't think he will. Cesaro, I wouldn't be surprised if the Friday Night Messiah came and beat him up beforehand and went into the match instead and somehow lost, and that sets up Cesaro Rollins for Mania or Fastlane. Owens to win. Owens to then put in a valiant effort against Reigns afterwards, because whoever wins that match fights Reigns straight afterwards, don't forget. And I think Reigns obviously wins and walks out as champion.
Yeah.
And maybe ends the night getting speared by Edge. So you think Raw is the big go home?
Because that's got more, I don't know how you put it, build up. Like, it's more exciting.
Okay,
Because the SmackDown one just seems like they've put a few in that they just wanted to put in. Like, why is Corbin in? Why is Sami Zayn in? There's no reason for them to be in. They've just put them in to get eliminated. Whereas on the Raw one, I'm pretty sure most of them have a reason for being in there. I know some from the SmackDown have a reason, but I think most of the ones from Raw have a reason to be in that Elimination Chamber.
So Adam Pearce and Shane McMahon said that everybody who was going in was a former champion, a former WWE champion. So they had The Miz, who was. They had Orton, Hardy, Styles, Sheamus, McIntyre, the current champion. Obviously Miz has dropped out and Kofi's now in there. But Braun's circling like a shark in the water. Do you think that Kofi will make it to the chamber? Do you think Ali might beat him up and then Braun Strowman might take his place?
Maybe. But, yeah, I think if they did that, Braun would come in.
I could see Strowman versus McIntyre at Mania. I could see Sheamus McIntyre. I mean, it's going to be Orton Fiend, so there's no need to have the belt on them. The only reason you put the belt on Orton is to let Edge or Fiend win it off him. There's no need otherwise. Styles versus McIntyre would be a great match. Kofi, he's not going to win it.
No.
Sheamus.
That'd be a good match.
Sheamus could win it, but if he does win it, he'll only lose it again to McIntyre quite quickly. So I think McIntyre wins, or Strowman, and that's what you...
I don't think McIntyre will win.
Okay, who's going to win then? I didn't mention Jeff Hardy then either. I don't think Jeff Hardy wins.
No. I think... Oh, I forgot who is in it now. Who's in it?
Orton.
Yeah.
Styles.
Yeah.
Kofi.
Yeah.
Hardy.
Yeah.
Sheamus.
Yeah.
McIntyre.
Sheamus wins.
Sheamus. So the same as what you said the other day.
Yeah.
To set up McIntyre Sheamus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I think would be a very good match.
I think we're going to get Strowman McIntyre at Mania.
Why Strowman?
Because they're giving him a bit of a push. He's not happy with stuff. He's a legitimate threat to McIntyre as well. You know, he's a big monster who's gone away, got into good shape. He knows how to work in a ring, you know, and when he was the unstoppable monster against Babyface Roman Reigns, he was pretty chaotic. Him versus McIntyre would be a very hard-hitting match. And probably a good one. Though McIntyre, Sheamus, they've got the whole history of being friends. The first one I did wrong, the second one I did right.
Yeah, but they've broke them up, which would be good for a rivalry, which is why I think Sheamus will win. Because they need someone to fight McIntyre after the Chamber, and McIntyre can't fight himself.
No.
And they want someone to fight McIntyre.
The one problem we've got is that it's 7 weeks till Mania, and you've got Fastlane in the middle, so you'll have some feuds that end there. You won't have many that carry on after that. You sort of want to hold off with some things, really. If Edge makes his decision now to fight Reigns, you know Reigns is going into Mania as champion. If Sheamus wins, you know Sheamus will be fighting McIntyre at Mania. If McIntyre wins, you don't know who will fight him at Mania. I think if anybody but McIntyre wins, unless it's Orton, you know that McIntyre's going to be fighting him at Mania.
Yeah.
Does The Fiend return tonight? In one of the pods?
I think that could happen. Like it's 50-50. It might happen, but it also might not. Maybe it's like a 49-51.
Brilliant. I like your maths there. Well done.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's a 49 and a 50.
Last.
Is that right?
I think the last three are in it. Orton setting up. Bang, bang, bang. Pounding the ground. Gonna get ready for that RKO, and as he stands up.
Yeah.
Everything goes out. And as it comes back on, smoke fills a chamber pod. And Wyatt's in there. And it turns off. And the lights come back on. Claymore.
You know what could happen? Like, literally, the lights would go out. There'd be a little light on the pod and there'd just be smoke inside. And the lights would go off again. And the Fiend would have Orton in a mandible claw in the chamber.
That would be cool.
And then, like, the lights go back on. And Fiend picks him up for a Uranagi through the glass of the pod.
Could do.
Yep.
But you've still got to eliminate Orton.
Yep. Claymore.
So you throw him into the pod, get him back out the pod. Claymore.
Yeah, but he's beating him up because he's mandible clawing him. And he's put him through the pod.
Okay.
And then Orton will get back up, get in the ring, he'll still be battered and Claymore to his head.
I get you. No, I think that could definitely be good. Definitely would be. Now, I'm going to pose a question to you, and I think I know who you're going to say. But if NXT had an Elimination Chamber tonight, who'd you put in there? Balor's got to be one of them.
Balor, done.
Yep.
How many's in there? 7.
No, 6.
Balor, done. Cole, O'Reilly, Cross, and I can't think of a 6th.
I would go with those 5. I'd have Gargano as my 6. He always tends to get away into these sort of things. I think that'd be cool, but it's not going to happen.
No.
But one thing we do know is going to happen is that Elimination Chamber is going to be tonight. A lot of people aren't going to like it. A lot of people are going to love it. We know that Roman Reigns is going to walk out there with the championship. I bet you £5 he does. And I think you agree anyway. So I'm not betting you. But Roman Reigns will walk out as champion. We will get a decision within the next week from Edge. And the other thing that we know is that you and I will be back on Tuesday or Wednesday to do a review of the Elimination Chamber, of Raw, and also to do our predictions for 10 matches that we think will happen at WrestleMania. Don't have to give a reason why, but 10 matches that we think will happen.
Okay, I'll be on. Yeah, I'll be thinking of matches. I'll be thinking of matches to do.
Okie dokie. Anything to say?
No, enjoy Elimination Chamber, like I said last time.
Enjoy the Elimination Chamber, and we will see you in the next week sometime.
Yeah.
Nice one. Cheers, Tar. Thank you very much.
Bye.